Hey, what's up, guys? Calling on back with my video, and today I'm going to do my Naruto review episode 80 review English dub. So here it goes. Episode starts out with uh, the Thorough Kage. Mostly in the previous episode, we see the Thorough Kage ripping, taking out Orochimaru's hands there. Mostly we've seen in the last episode, we see Orochimaru's hands getting ripped off by the Thorough Kage ripping Orochimaru's hands there with the Reaper Death Seal. The Reaper Death Seal took his jutsu away and shit like that. And he said the seal was set, and we seen the Thorough Kage was like slowly dying and stuff like that. um, and the episode starts out with the Thorough Kage is technically dead now, so the Thorough Kage just technically died and stuff like that. The summoning animal of him pulls the sword out, and he said when you remove that sword, so he removes the sword there, and he told him he did a great honor to fight with him and stuff like that. Then the summoning animal disappears and shit. The Orochimaru saying our mission has failed there. So yeah, I was actually saying something about the mission has failed. He's like, let's get let's get out of here. He's like, our mission has failed, and he's like, we have to just get out of here and shit like that. So they're like, the Sound Ninja, they're like, oh crap, Orochimaru and shit like that. So they like released the prison jutsu there. They released the prison jutsu there, and mostly they released the prison jutsu there, and they walked over to Orochimaru there, and then they were saying like, oh, we have to, and he's like, we had to retreat and shit. So when Orochimaru was getting retreated by some of the Sound Ninja, the armored Black Ops was gonna chase him down. They're like, don't want him to escape and shit. One of the guys there shoots the fucking web. There, one of the Sound Ninjas shoots like some like ninja web or did something like some web there, and then they're like, oh crap, we fell into like we fell into a web jutsu and shit. And that's what one of the Black Ops was saying and shit like that. Yeah, we see uh let's see, it's like, well, we need to go after him and shit like that. And then one of the Black Ops was saying something about it, or technically Kabuto was actually saying something about it. He's like, oh, that's not a good idea and stuff like that. Mostly they're like, why we did it, because what the heck, what they did to us and shit like that. We're not gonna go unscurving and shit. And then Akashi knew it was Kabuto the whole fucking time there. And he's like, why we have to not going after him, Kabuto and shit. That's what he was saying to him. And then when he was saying stuff like that, saying, he's like, oh, well, he's like, it's not, he's like, it's not a big chance. He's like, this is not, he's like, we're going to do run this time. And he's like, no, I'm not going to run. He's like, suddenly, uh, he's like, you know better about this and stuff like that. And plus, you don't even know, even the Sharingan doesn't even know, even the only ones he was saying something about who don't actually master the Sharingan much better, or the Chiha. That's what Kabuto was saying and shit. So when that was going on with that shit there, uh, when that was going on with that shit there, the next scene there we see Naruto like was slowly trying to get over to guard and stuff like that, and we see like some like flashbacks where technically they were technically being outcasts and stuff. Naruto and Gaara, we've just seen them in like in a flashback there where they technically were more outcasts and stuff like that. And then Gaara was like, "Why are you coming near me and stuff like that? You're and stuff like that." And he's like, you hurt my Naruto's like, you hurt my friends. He's like, I'm not gonna stand up with that. You're technically you have to die from that. He's like, I have to kill you for that. and shit like that. So he was saying, Naruto was actually saying something about he's gonna kill him and stuff like that for it. So when that was going on with that shit, um, there, uh, he was actually trying to walk over there. We see Sakura was falling down. Uh, we, when Naruto was like slowly getting close to Gaara there, mostly Socks, and we see Sasuke save Gaara there, or save Sasuke saved Sakura there, and he told Paku there to watch over Sakura, and he's like, wait, well, I'm supposed to deal with her and shit. When Naruto was getting pretty close to Gaara there, he's like was saying stuff like that. He's like being like shallow and stuff, and he's like the only reason why he stopped it there, Sasuke stopped Naruto from trying to kill Gaara there. He's like, this guy's done. You don't have to do anymore. And Naruto just mostly collapsed on the ground and shit. And technically, we see Temari and Kankuro picked up Gaara. They knew like how Gaara was like mostly wiped out and shit like that. And Kankuro was like, how the fuck he was more wiped out and shit. He's like, this is the first time I've never seen Gaara wiped out and shit like that. So Gaara, Temari and Temari and Kankuro take Gaara there. We do see freaking Temari or Gaara was actually apologizing to Temari and Kankuro there, and then Kankuro is like saying like, don't worry about that. We're gonna do something else. He's like, we'll just go home and rest and shit. So when that was going on with that shit, we see Naruto like let's collapse on the ground. The next scene there, we get to the third Hokage officially died there in one of these scenes there. We actually see the third Hokage was they seemed like the third Hokage was just lying on the roof there, and then they found him mostly dead, and mostly they found him there. The next one, they had the funeral there for the third Hokage. Mostly the funeral, they were like handing out flowers and see what he actually did and stuff. And it started to rain and stuff like that. There's some like moments there where one of the Ombu Black Ops there, mostly the female Ombu Black Op, was talking to Akashi there, saying he was like, oh, you're here for the guy who honestly did the exam there, and then she was actually saying yeah and shit like that, and then she was actually saying something about like, you're doing over here is mostly honoring Obito. We all mostly Kashi was saying yeah, something about that and crap. So when that was going on with that shit, there, when they were actually saying stuff about that, we see when we see like the funeral with Garen, or we seen the funeral there and shit like that for it, and Naruto was actually Naruto Sensei, and Naruto Sensei was actually getting a really good hint there about what's actually going to happen with the stuff there and shit. And after the funeral there, Naruto was about to go back and shit like that. And then Ruka was saying there might be a Hokage in the future. And then he was actually saying stuff like that and shit. And then the end of the episode there, we see some two ninja there wearing robes and stuff like that. Mostly we've seen two ninja wearing robes there, and then one of the ninjas saying, "Boy," he's like, "You have an issue with your home village," and then you see like a shotgun. So, yep, that's pretty much it on this. That's it. That's where the episode ends. So, yep, that's pretty much it. Comment, rate, and responsive to the Spare Bros. We would like more videos. Please subscribe to the Bell Kitchen. We'll see more uploads. Rate, responsive to the Spare Bros. Like, hang out. Out of your peace.